Let's get you a live update from DD India. Siddharth Bhardwaj joining us from Kathmandu in Nepal. Good afternoon to you, Siddharth. How is the voting going so far? Is everything smooth or have there been any incidents as well?
Oh, very good afternoon to you, Gautam, and it's going really smooth. Let me just show our viewers of DD India. I'm outside here at a polling station, and you can see behind me people who have come here for voting, and it's going on really smooth, courtesy to the security arrangements by the authorities, who are leaving no stone unturned to make sure that these elections are safe and secure, and everyone come here and voting happens in a peaceful manner. So you can see behind me long queues, and people are coming after casting their ballot. Gautam, according to the electoral process of Nepal, so every voter will be given 2 ballot papers, and they'll be stamping one for the general direct voting, which is first past the post, and second would be for the proportional representation. And the results of the direct voting are expected within 24 hours, as said by the Election Commission. But as far as the proportional representation is concerned, it will take another 2 to 3 days. But then, as far as the voting is concerned, it is going really smooth. And as I've told our viewers, by noon, the polling percentage was 18%. It is expected that by the end of the day, when the polling will end by 5 p.m., the percentage could be around 65%, but that remains to be seen what polling percentage will be there once the voting ends. There are people who are very excited. 8 lakh voters who are 800,000 voters who are first-time voters, and they are very excited. When they are going to cast their vote. We had a word with them, but they're saying that we are happy. When we are casting a vote, but at the same time, we have great expectations from the government. We want good governance. We want to eradicate corruption from the country, and we want the government to generate more and more employments and opportunities, especially for the young people who can stay here, and work from within the country. Don't have to depend on the foreign countries to go and work, because when they stay here, they can take care of their families and other things as well, which they cannot do when they are in the other countries. So as far as the voting is concerned, it is going really smooth, Gautam.
All right. Since you mentioned the younger generation rather, now could it be said with certainty, Siddharth, that since a youth-led protest, a Gen Z protest, had toppled the last government in September last year, that is going to be a mandate for change? Or could the old guard, which is also in the fray, very much in the fray, still be able to hold sway?
It is expected that the Gen Z generation will dominate these elections, and they will have a key role, when it comes to the outcomes of these elections. But then there are other people as well in the other regions, since Nepal is divided into 7 provinces. So some people are also saying that the old parties and the old party candidates still have the dominance in these elections. You've mentioned the protests, the youth-led protests, the Gen Z protests, which took place in September last year. They toppled the KP Sharma Oli government, and also Nepal got a hit when it comes to its economic stability and its political stability as well. And these elections are very crucial when it comes to reviving the economic and political stability of the country. So yeah, people, I'm here in Kathmandu, but people from other regions are saying that the old candidates, the old parties still have a dominance in these elections, and that is what making these elections really interesting, because you don't know the outcome yet. Although, however, Gen Z are saying that they have united, and they have united for a change. But at the same time, some people are also saying that the old parties and candidates still have a dominance, and result could go anywhere. That remains to be seen once the result is out, but we cannot say anything right now, and that is making these elections really interesting.
Right, and since it's a neighboring country, and apart from that, a lot of people from Nepal also work in India, and there are strong people-to-people ties. There's a cultural cross-section or crossover as well, as far as India and Nepal are concerned. How critical are these elections for India as well?
Definitely. I mean, the next government which will be elected after these elections, a lot of, the foreign relations will be dependent on that, and, the relations with the neighboring countries. Since you mentioned India, it is very critical, these elections, from that point of view, that how the relations with India will be after the next government will be elected. But yeah, both the countries share great cultural ties and people to people ties, and that's what makes the relations between both the countries stronger. But a lot of things depends on the results and who will be selected as the prime minister of the country. So a lot of things will be dependent on the results of these elections, which are very interesting again, because some people are saying, one faction is saying that Gen Zs are dominating these elections. The other faction is saying no, all political parties and candidates are still having a dominance in these elections. So depends on the results, Gautam. A lot of things will be dependent on the results. 24 hours is the time which Election Commission has given as far as the results for the first past the post is concerned, which is the direct elections. But as far as the proportional representation is concerned, it will take another 2 to 3 days or maybe more.
All right. Thanks, Siddharth, and keep an eye on how things go, and all the best for having the poll go very peacefully there in the Himalayan kingdom. Thanks.